Hi, hello, welcome to today's Conversion Corner. Today we're going to go over Tau Vengeance batteries. I actually realized I started wanting to include fortifications with my Tau, and yeah, I didn't. These came up before they came out with that new tide wall and those fancy things they've got. I was going to use, and I am going to use, the standard Imperial fortifications from like Stronghold Assault, the old rules, and the big one that I wanted to start with was the Vengeance batteries, because I realized that with the battle cannon in place, that's a Strength 8 AP3 attack, and so is the overcharged ion cannon. Well, take a look at that. Realize that you're putting that ion cannon on a much larger fortification, not within a vehicle. You can equip the, from a fluff perspective, you can equip it with extra cooling capabilities and up the power output a little bit so that it changes from a Strength 8 AP3 heavy one gets hot, large blast, to Strength 8 AP3 Ordnance 1, large blast. Made kind of sense. So, it's people are used to seeing an ion cannon lay down a blast template, so I thought it's a great combination. And so when I went to buy my Devilfish, I decided I'll just go get some hammerheads, so that way I can get some extra guns, because I needed to have a second ion cannon anyway. And so in the process of collecting, I finally got the ion cannon that I needed, and now it was just a matter of finding the right base that was the right size. Now, then I ran across this little thing, that lid from a lemonade container. I was at Gatorade, I think, powdered drink. Now, I love the contour. It was exactly what I was picturing in my mind. Problem is, it's got this lettering. I only had one. I wanted a pair, so kept my eye out for another one. We don't usually buy this, so it took I was never able to get a second one, and I got worried because this is such soft plastic that in trying to get this lettering off, the thinner stuff was easy. I could take a number 17 X-Acto and shave that pretty well. But this heavier stuff, I don't think I'd be able to get it off clean. And so the result would be, a marred surface that wouldn't really look good. So I kind of set on hold for a while until I found the perfect top for this. And so there's a lemonade container, just lemonade powder. I took the top off. It was a nice rounded, no number, no lettering. It was on a plastic wrapper that all the pictures, colors, words were all on a plastic wrapper that it easily came off. And it had a kind of a nice texture. It even had this nice lower rim and a ring around the top. All I had to do was take a keyhole drill and run a hole in the top, the same diameter as the base of this. Plot it on, and it's all set to go. Now, I made basically with the extra hammerhead parts, I was able to take the Skyray base and glue the extra ion cannons directly to it to be the top. So very simple, two pieces. It's actually three, left and right half of this Skyray base, and that's it. That's all it takes. Painted up white. Even though my army is painted mostly in greens, jungle camo, I kind of want to keep the architecture white. It just seems to feel right for me. But anyway, I went to go ahead and I was going to highlight, all the panel lines in here, but I found out my technical pens were dry. So I wanted to show you, though, what I normally use. These are the technical pens. It's an 03. They're numbered. This one's 005. This one's 003. Sorry, and that's a 0.3 millimeter. That's a 0.05 millimeter tip. They're really good. Now, it turns out the 3, so let's see if I can zoom in and get a good look you can get a good look at this nib. See that? That's 0.3 millimeters wide. That little nib there. Now, I thought that would actually fit well in the handle lines of a devilfish, but not quite. Turns out I needed this even smaller, half a 0.05 millimeter. And this actually works really, really well, because all you really need to do is take the pen. Now this is dry, so it's not going to put any marks down, but drop it in and just kind of draw it. Just follow the curve, and that's it. And then you end up with really nice dark panel lines. No fancy paint work needed. Well, because they were dry, I didn't have them to do the accents on these, the panel lines. So I did get impatient. Instead of going out and buying some new ones, I found the finest tipped ballpoint pen I could, which is not ideal, and I went ahead and used that. Now, you can see that it's ever so slightly, it's bled a bit. One of the problems with the ballpoint, and you can see it on this particular stanchion, I guess I'll call it, is it didn't put the line right in the crease, because the angle in that crevice was too sharp for the ball to ride in. So the ball basically put the ink on either side, on the side of the strut and on the side of the wall. So I don't mind. It looks good on the table. You know, sitting back at tabletop distance, you know, pull this back, and it's looking just fine. I mean, I'm not disappointed at all. Learned a few things on it, and again, that's why I'm going to stick with my technical pens. And again, doing it on a flat finish, and then lightly spraying it with very, very thin coats of any type of varnish over that, whether it's gloss or flat. The reason being is because it's an ink, it could run. I did notice that on a gloss surface on one of my Orc bikes or tracks. I went ahead and used the technical pen to put some, draw a little grimace face on it, and it did run because the gloss coat was too heavy and it kind of ran down, it bled. But if you keep it thin and light and do a light spray of varnish, it'll be just fine. So there it is, the Vengeance batteries. They're the right size, the right diameter, a little bit shorter than the GW ones, and with a weapon profile that's very, very close to the ion cannon. It's a perfect fit for Tau. So I use this for both my Tau army and my Polska Guard army. Being that they're allies of Tau, they're going to have Tau fortifications and equipment as well. So, hope it gives you some ideas for other ways to go about getting or making Vengeance batteries, especially if you're not a Guard player. Orcs need to have one. Necrons can do. That's a good way to get some cheap Strength 8 AP3. Not that the Necrons need extra help. Of course, the Eldar, they can have there's a lot of ways they can pull some fluff together to make a Vengeance battery kind of a thing. So, do go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Hope you got something out of this one. Let me know what you think below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.